Hi, everybody. It's Michael Fletcher. Welcome to a very special edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk. As tonight, myself, Anthony Florio, and Edie Woodson, we're going to be setting the table for Fastlane going down tomorrow night on pay-per-view and on the WWE Network. This is the final SmackDown exclusive event before WrestleMania, and we are gonna gear right in, and we're not gonna waste any more time. We got 6 fights on the card, and we're going to start it off with a tag team match. This one was just announced on the last SmackDown show. Becky Lynch and Naomi to go up against Natalya and Carmella in a tag team attraction. Really, this was thrown last minute. There's really not much hype about this show or about this matchup. But it was basically after Becky Lynch got the victory over Carmella with the disarmor, and then a tag team match was basically announced that was scheduled for Fastlane. So there's really not much hype going into this match. So now the question is, who gets the victory? Now, who really needs it more? Now, Natalya Natalya necessarily doesn't need it. Carmella does. Carmella's missed Money in the Bank. She needs a victory because right now she's starting to get that ominous Money in the Bank type of not so much success where you win the Money in the Bank, but then you start losing match after match after match, and you kind of go through this up and down type of world. Carmella is she's due, and it's only a matter of time before she cashes in the Money in the Bank. It looks like right now the most likely scenario of her cashing it in, and a lot of people are talking about this, is possibly WrestleMania. So obviously you want to keep Carmella strong or give her a win here to boost her confidence to possibly cash in. Now, on the other hand, Becky and Naomi, proven stars, proven winners, both former champions. As a matter of fact, all three of the ladies are involved, other than Carmella, has been SmackDown Women's Champions. Becky Lynch on, I think, 2 occasions, Naomi on 2 occasions, and Natalya only was 1 time. And a lot of people did not expect her to win the title when she did. So, what's going to happen? We're just going to have to wait and find out. For me personally, I'm going to go against the grain here. And I'm actually going to go with Natalya and Carmella to steal this victory from Naomi and Becky Lynch. Now, everybody knows how much I feel about Becky Lynch. But in the grand scheme of things, in storyline, heading into WrestleMania, especially for Carmella, she needs this victory more than Becky and Naomi do. So I'm going to go for the mild upset is what I'm going to call it. Carmella and Natalya to get the victory. Anthony Florio, come on in. It's all yours, my friend.
Well, I'll tell you, MF. I got to be honest here. Does this match matter? I mean, I say with all due respect, all 4 of these ladies are talented, and they will surely find their way on the WrestleMania card somewhere. Sadly, though, this is just a random thrown together tag team bout to throw on this card and waste a good maybe 10 to 15 minutes. I mean, this show is going to need a couple of lengthy matches on the undercard. The only reason I'm going to agree with you, MF, and go with Natalya and Carmella myself is due to the Money in the Bank winner Carmella still holding the briefcase. Usually, that would entitle or entail a loss so close to a cash-in, but not here. But I'm sure this is going to be an okay fight. This is probably going to be a TV quality bout at best, if I'm going to be real honest with you. So this is probably going to be a 2 to 2.5 star match at the absolute best. So there's nothing more for me to say on this except I'm going to agree with you, MF. I'm going to go with Natalya and Carmella to pick up the win here by nefarious means, I'm sure. So, Dee Woodson, our resident women's expert here. I mean, a randomly thrown together tag team match. It's probably going to be TV quality at best, but are we going to make it unanimous, or are you going to go against the grain here?
No, I'm going to make it unanimous because they've got to do something to build Carmella up so that she will go into WrestleMania wanting to cash that stupid thing in that she's carried around now for months and months and months. And so, yeah, I'm going to make it unanimous. Yeah, it's probably just going to be a TV quality match. It's probably not going to be anything super big. So, not much more I have to say about it. Let's move on.
All right, and the next fight that we're going to have on the card, another match that kind of got thrown in literally at the last minute. However, this one has a little bit of some relevance here. The Royal Rumble winner, Shinsuke Nakamura, will go one-on-one with Rusev. Of course, Aiden English in the corner. A little backstory on this one. The match was Aiden English versus Nakamura on a SmackDown Live. Nakamura defeated Aiden English with a Kinshasa. However, Rusev got really angry at Nakamura because his Kinshasa damaged the vocal cords of one Aiden English and demanded a fight with him at Fastlane. Nakamura gladly accepted the match, and here it is. Nakamura versus Rusev one-on-one. I'm going to call this the dark horse fight of the night because this one, if given ample time, Rusev is a good wrestler. Nakamura, we already know how great Nakamura is. So this might sneak into the top three by, maybe top four, top three by the end of the night. You never know how this can play out. So Anthony Foyle, come on in. It's all yours. Who do you got in the match and why?
Really, no explanation is needed here, MF. You have to go with Nakamura. I mean, why in the world would you kill any momentum he has? Why would you want to kill any momentum for Nakamura going into next month? What will be far and away the biggest match of his entire professional wrestling career, even bigger than New Japan, MF. I mean, even bigger than any Wrestle Kingdom match he ever wrestled against, including AJ Styles in that 5-star they had at Wrestle Kingdom 10 a couple years ago. But I'm going to be real honest here. I mean, Nakamura clearly needs it more. I mean, this was just randomly thrown together just to give Nakamura something to do, obviously. I mean, that's the only reason why they even booked it. I mean, Nakamura clearly needed something to do. I mean, this was not what I had in mind. I mean, I read dirt sheets saying that they were considering having him fight John Cena and putting his WrestleMania title shot on the line. I mean, that was a hot dirt sheet I read some time ago, but nonetheless, I mean, WWE hasn't given us much of a reason to care about this match either, just like with the tag match. But it should at least be a good match featuring two of the most over superstars on SmackDown Live. It is clear that WWE hopes some of Rusev's juice rubs off on Nakamura here. And their lone backstage segment leading into this match was fantastic. Unfortunately, it will set up Rusev for another loss, and God forbid WWE allows someone the fans like to get over on their own. I mean, thrown together at the last minute, following a comedic backstage segment. I mean, it has the potential, like you said, MF, this has the potential to surprise in terms of its quality. The problem is nothing is really at stake for either, nor has there been enough of a story built to make us care. But considering how much Rusev has been buried in the overall picture, despite his surprising babyface cheers because of the whole Rusev Day stuff, a win is very unlikely. Nakamura, the Royal Rumble winner, needs to be kept strong ahead of what will be a WWE Championship feud against most likely AJ Styles entering WrestleMania. Biggest match of his career, bigger than anything in New Japan. I mean, and if it is him and AJ, oh my goodness, that's going to blow the roof off the dome in New Orleans, no question. But there's only one way this goes. It's Nakamura. And yes, we'll once again get to hear Corey Graves yell out, Kinshasa. And you know how much we love that. And of course, that would be UMF if we were doing the commentary, of course, as the lead. So nothing more to say. Shinsuke Nakamura with a win, but Rusev will give him fits. And Nakamura will have that momentum, that much needed momentum going into the biggest match of his life next month in New Orleans. So give me Nakamura. Didi, I'm sure we're going to be unanimous once again.
Oh yeah, Nakamura definitely. So I'm not gonna add much more to it. So Fletch is yours.
Yeah, definitely. Shinsuke Nakamura, winner of the Royal Rumble match. He definitely is. He's about 1 month away from fighting for the WWE Championship. And April 8th is the big day. It's going to go down. The world is ready for it. They're going to be coming from far and wide to go to the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans to see what undoubtedly could be one of the biggest matches in WrestleMania history. I mean, the expectation of this fight is so high that you're going to need a 10-point must system on the rating of this match, because I truly believe, given the ample time and knowing how epic Nakamura and AJ was at Wrestle Kingdom 10, the measuring stick is already high. It is just going to be one of those, is that, can it go higher? Can it actually be like Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker? Can the original, could the sequel be better than the original? I think that's the best way to say it. It's almost like, it almost has that feel of it. We'll wait and see what happens. It's going to be unbelievable. It's going to be one. This is going to be one that we're going to be talking about for years to come. But for this, obviously Nakamura beats Rusev. We're just going to get into the next fight, which is for the SmackDown Women's Championship, Charlotte Flair versus Ruby Riott. We already know the storyline between these two. Charlotte Flair made it very personal, wanted it to destroy all the members of the Riott Squad. She got Liv Morgan. She took out Sarah Logan. Then Ruby Riott was like, you know what? I'm going to do the same thing to your little squad. In back-to-back weeks, she took down Becky Lynch and Naomi. Both girls was able to say that they've gotten 2 of their own members, took them out. Something will have to give. And the SmackDown Women's title is on the line. The winner of this fight, in all attempted purposes, will be in a date with Destiny, because they possibly will be defending that title at WrestleMania. All right, Didi Woodson, our resident women's division expert. Who's going to WrestleMania as the SmackDown Women's Champion?
Charlotte Flair. Hands down. No ifs, ands, or buts. Ruby Riott's not ready for it. So, Charlotte Flair. Nothing more to say.
As emphatic as it could be. Yeah, I got to say, it's the queen, Charlotte Flair. I mean, whenever it's a big fight feel, whenever it's a title fight on a pay-per-view, I don't ever think Charlotte has ever lost. I mean, she might have coughed up the belt a couple of times in her day, but I think her one-loss record in pay-per-views with title matches on the line, I think she is absolutely flawless. I think she's only lost 1 or 2 matches when it comes to pay-per-view matches when a title is on the line. So she has definitely been very successful defending the title and, keeping the belt. I just don't see Ruby getting the opportunity here. I think Ruby will give it a gallant effort, However, I don't believe she's walking out with the belt. Charlotte wins. She's going to WrestleMania. Anthony, agree? Disagree?
Agreed. Of course, it's the Queen. I mean, it would be something. You know me. I'm always up for opportunities for younger talent to get over and fresh faces. Getting their big moment in the sun. So we have a matchup of the Queen versus the Punk Princess and Dark Angel, as I call Ruby Riott. Those are my little pet names for her. And I have for the last few weeks I've been taking a very very big liking to Ruby Riott. I love the look. She's not great in the ring, but she does make a great foil for Charlotte Flair. And it's unfortunate that SmackDown Live did not provide reasoning for this feud until the final week before the bout was made, because it may have actually been something of interest to the fans. Instead, Riott is simply the final member of the Riott Squad that Flair has not faced and defeated over the last month. Ruby is not capable of holding the women's title, let alone taking it into WrestleMania 34. Charlotte Flair has bigger fish to fry on the big stage in April next month. And if the new SmackDown faction, the Riott Squad, has proven one thing since being rushed up from NXT, it's that they are not entirely ready for prime time. I mean, Dee made a great point about that. Ruby Riott, while she is a fine in-ring performer, she lacks the presence, to be the leader of the stable. I mean, so what exactly does that say about her prospects to exit Columbus tomorrow night as champion? You get the point. Charlotte has basically been biding time before the reveal of who her WrestleMania opponent will end up being. And while there's an argument to be made that this could be the time for the Princess of Staten Island, Carmella, to cash in somewhat under the radar, let's also remember WWE has not yet committed to who the women's Royal Rumble match winner, the Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka, will pick after winning the women's Royal Rumble. We may very well see Carmella provide the tease again, but the smart money is on Charlotte Flair, the Queen, keeping the title. And even though it's going to absolutely suck to lose Asuka to SmackDown Live, I got a feeling that's what's going to happen. Charlotte's going to retain it. I got a feeling the Empress of Tomorrow is going to jump ship from Monday Night Raw over to SmackDown Live and give SmackDown Live a big-time coup for that women's division, as they clearly need it a lot more. Besides, Raw's got the new big toy and the rowdy one, so you know where I'm going with that. So give me the Queen to retain, and then let's look forward to her and the Empress at WrestleMania. You get that? I'll tell you right now, MF. If we get Charlotte and Asuka for the SmackDown Women's Championship at WrestleMania, I'm gonna go on the record right now, and be sure to put me on the record for this. Next month, if that is the case, we're only looking at the new greatest women's match in WrestleMania history, making that Charlotte, Sasha, Becky 3-way from 32 look like an absolute dud. So, or I should say, a ho-hum diva fight. So, nothing more to say here. Give me the Queen and Charlotte and Asuka at WrestleMania. I think that's the direction they're going. So, chew on that for a little bit. So, with that being said, MF, let's move on to our next title match.
Well, the next title match is only just one of the biggest rivalries in tag team history. The only two teams that are really relevant right now on SmackDown Live. The Usos putting the titles on the line against the former four-time WWE SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the New Day. And yes, they're looking for the Drive for 5 for the New Day. And the Usos, are they going to put the New Day in the Uso penitentiary and finally, after 9 long years, get their opportunity in the spotlight at WrestleMania? I think they're gonna. I think it is Uso time. I think they just, look, first off, what is Jimmy's condition going to be like? Because if you didn't see the Mixed Match Challenge on Tuesday night, homeboy got wrecked by Braun Strowman, man. Went through the table, for heaven's sake. Yeah, he definitely got wrecked big time. So
he got them hands, boy. He got them.
Well, the thing was, he kind of was poking the bear a little bit, and he deserted. And unfortunately, and you know how much I love Jimmy Uso, because he's one of my boys. But Jimmy, you poked the bear, man. Unfortunately, I gotta say it, man. You got a little too cocky, too arrogant, and you were poking fun at Braun because he saved Alexa not once but twice and got caught in a compromising position, and you started talking junk about him, and yeah, you paid the price big time. He paid yearly for his sins, as they would say. So we'll wait and see what happens, but that's going to be an interesting match. That's going to be it's going to be one of the fights of the night. There's no doubt about it. Every time the Usos and the New Day go at it, man, it's going to be unbelievable. It's going to be wild. It is one of those type of battles. The fans get so amped up. They're so amazed. They're so ready for this. And, the only thing you needed it to know, going into that battle was basically their promo. The one promo that they did prior to that title shot, that basically started the storyline. That is basically when everybody just realized it is on. Here we go. And you know what? Then last week we saw the video package on SmackDown Live. And if you are not ready for this matchup, if you are not jacked up after seeing that video package, you're not a fan of SmackDown Live, and you're definitely not a fan of professional wrestling. They blew it out of the box with that. And this one, other than the main event, I think this could be a damn near 3.5 to 4-star match, because I think this is going to be huge. Nothing more to say. Anthony Florio, I got the Usos winning. Who do you got?
Oh man, I'm going to be honest here. One of two matches on this card that is tough to call. This is one of them. The match we're going to get into after this is the other. Main event, I have no doubts about that one. But you said it, MF. Outside of the main event, this match has the best opportunity to steal the show, considering how truly great their feud was throughout last year, mainly in the summer. The SummerSlam kickoff match, that Sin City Street fight, the first ever tag team Hell in a Cell match. I mean, those three matches were all instant classics. I mean, and of course that infamous rap battle as well last summer in Phoenix with Wale. We all know how we're all going on the record saying that was the greatest segment in SmackDown history. But the dueling promos 2 weeks ago to announce the reuniting of the two teams also featured some of their best respective work. Not only does this program have WrestleMania written all over it, the Usos deserve to enter said card with the belts. After being inexplicably left off the bill for so many years, including last year as champions. To get there properly with enough storyline juice, maybe there's a chance this could end in a non-finish, and it could be the right play. And it would give us an excuse to do this again at WrestleMania in an epic match. But while I wish we were headed for this 2-on-2 match at WrestleMania, I got a feeling SmackDown is going to give us possibly a triple threat with the Bludgeon Brothers, maybe even a 4-way with Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable. I mean, because the Bludgeons right now are one of these two against one of those two teams would not be nearly as exciting. I mean, the only way this could end in a non-finish is if the Bludgeons get involved. And I could see the Bludgeons interfering and taking out both teams, setting up a non-finish and, giving us a reason to do this again. So, but man, this is beyond tough to call. But the legendary feud continues. They've had great matches, and the winners of this I definitely think will likely get bludgeoned sooner rather than later. They could get bludgeoned at this show, but MF, I'll go with you on this one. I mean, the Usos are just too damn good right now, and I got a feeling based on what they said in that epic promo about them not getting the WrestleMania moment. Gentlemen, that's going to change because Usos, you're the best damn tag team in WWE, period, and the quotation and the discussion. There's no doubt about it. I think they'll find a way to win, but don't be surprised if we end up getting a non-finish here. So I'll go with the Usos for now, but something big's going to happen at Mania. I got a feeling that the Bludgeons could be involved, Benjamin and Gable. Heck, maybe even Rusev Day gets involved. You never know. But something big, something Kajunga is going to go down at WrestleMania for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. Maybe that's where the ladder match comes into play. I don't know. We'll see. But I'll go with the Usos for now. But watch out for that possible bludgeon interference. That's all I can say. But it's going to be a damn good match, though. I agree. Outside of the main event, this has show stealer written all over it. So, Didi Woodson, are we going to add another chapter to this awesome rivalry or what?
Yeah, we're going to add another chapter to this rivalry. I do think it's time for the Usos to have the WrestleMania moment. So that's what I'm going with. So not much more I have to say. I think you said most all of it. So Fletch, take it.
All right. The next thing we have is for the United States Championship. The champion, the glorious Bobby Roode, goes up against the Apex Predator, Randy Orton. Anthony Florio, it is all yours.
Well, I'll tell you, MF. I mean, I just have one question here. And I'm sure both of you are going to agree with me when I ask this. Is it just me, but shouldn't this feel like a much bigger match? Shouldn't it? I mean, Bobby Roode is one guy we have been dying to have come to WWE for years. And, you know, he came to NXT before it happened, and now he's on SmackDown Live carrying the United States Heavyweight Championship as the glorious one. Then there is legacy star, Mr. RKO out of nowhere. He could be put anywhere on the card and be relevant, trustworthy, and deliver a solid, great performance. This guy Randy Orton is still in amazing shape. He's 37 years old. He's going to be 38 in a few weeks. And he can wrestle at a high level without blinking. And this is going to be great. I mean, it's a dream match for some. I mean, with WrestleMania just 4 weeks away, it'll be very intriguing to learn where both of these guys are slated. Maybe a rematch. Maybe the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Multi-man cluster bleep. I don't know. Is there something else I'm not thinking of? But, man, this is tough to call. I mean, Superstar Shakeup coming up. I feel like both of these guys could possibly be shaken up to Monday Night Raw. I mean, one of these guys would be fine, but if I'm blessed and fortunate enough to have both of these guys on my show, a show we are indeed. That's all there is to say. But we'll get into that another day. But as far as this is concerned, I mean, I talked about the Bludgeons possibly being involved in that tag team title match. I got a feeling there's another possibility for some interference here. A certain modern-day Maharaja. Watch out for him. That's all there is to say there. The constant reminder that Orton is chasing the one singles title that has eluded him outside of the Universal Championship on Monday Night Raw, which debuted in 2016, likely means he'll end up with it, considering how beloved and protected he often is by WWE booking, along with the main question of when, either now or WrestleMania. There's also the unknown regarding Jinder Mahal, who has played a major role in this feud. The best guess is that possibly Jinder cost Randy Orton, whom he feuded with for the WWE Championship last spring and summer, tomorrow night, only to see Orton possibly go over in a multi-person title fight at WrestleMania. And all of this has been underwritten by the fact that Roode has performed, in such a certain fashion as a babyface champion that it makes one forget just how cool he recently was as the monster heel in NXT. Mahal interference seems like a no-brainer here. It's crazy that Mahal's entire run with the company's most prestigious title only served to make him a legitimate mid-carder. Title change here, I don't think really makes sense right now. But can WWE really go back-to-back pay-per-views with zero real developments in terms of its championships heading into WrestleMania? I think that's what's going to happen. It's very tough to call. I wouldn't be surprised if Orton wins the title. I wouldn't. But I'm going to take a chance here, and I'm going to go with the glorious one to successfully defend United States Heavyweight Championship. And I'm going to tell you, you want to talk about the top 3 fights of the night? In no particular order, this fight, the tag team titles, and the main event. Those are your 3 fights of the night. Rusev and Nakamura is probably going to be the sleeper fight of the night. And then we'll see what happens with the women's fights. So nothing more to say here. Give me the glorious one. Successfully defend Bobby Roode, still United States Heavyweight Champion. And something Kajunga will happen with this at WrestleMania. Maybe this is the ladder match. I don't know. But you know we're going to get some sort of multi-person cluster bleep ladder match at WrestleMania. Amen, D.D. Woodson?
Yeah, more than likely. As far as who I think is going to win it, I'm with you. I'm kind of riding the fence. Because your biggest factor in this is what is Jinder going to do? Is Jinder going to interfere? And if he does, is it going to benefit one or the other, or is it going to end up as a no contest because of his interference? Because, he doesn't like either one of them. But I think the one he's attacked more is Orton. So we'll just kind of have to see how this one plays out. I'm going to go ahead and go with Bobby Roode on this. I know there's a very good chance that Orton will walk away with it, and I'm with you. I wouldn't be surprised if he does. But I'm going to go ahead and say Roode walks away with it. Whether it's a clean finish or not, that's a whole different ball game. But that's pretty much all I'm going to say on it. So take it, Fletch.
And you know what? This is one of those situations. Who do I agree with? And I'm actually going to go with D.D. Woodson. I think Bobby Roode's going to win. I think he successfully defends the title. And, I'm going to openly admit this. When this match was made, I honestly thought initially triple threat. However, they did not do that. They kept Jinder Mahal on the sideline. I could definitely see interference. And Anthony, you are absolutely right. I think we could see an interference type thing, and that could break out, and we'll go from there. But at the end of the day, I think this is going to be a very interesting situation. I think the storyline is great up to this point, and I could see maybe a triple threat when at WrestleMania between these two men and add Jinder Mahal, and we will go from there, and we'll see what happens. I think they're going to want to have Orton and Roode at least in a safe position, nothing too they don't want to decrease their value either. And yeah, we're going to have to wait and see, because supposedly, allegedly, rumored wise, we're hearing the rumors going around that yes, it could be that what it could be is that we could have a situation where Randy Orton, maybe Bobby Roode, I don't know, could be heading to Monday Night Raw, because the draft is actually going to be at Backlash for the first time ever. A pay-per-view event might be responsible for this huge event. So we'll wait and see, but we'll go from there. And it's upward and onward we go, and it's time for the main event of the evening. It's the six-pack challenge for the WWE title. The champion, AJ Styles, will put the title on the line against John Cena, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Baron Corbin, and Dolph Ziggler. D.D. Woodson, you get to lead off on the main event of the evening. Who you got?
Oh, boy. This one, for me, is tough to call because you got so many factors in this match, with there being 6 of them. But then again, you also have a chance that, if Owens and Zayn can stay on the same page, them working together. But I think we've kind of proved on the last SmackDown that there's a very good chance that these two will not work together on the same page. I said it before, I said it again. If you haven't seen the writing on the wall that Zayn was going to screw Kevin Owens, then you need to go back and watch SmackDown from Tuesday night, because that's pretty much exactly what happened. As for who I think is going to win, knowing WWE, they'll probably give it to their golden boy, Cena, but I'm going to go ahead and say that AJ retains by some sort of a miracle here, because there's just so many factors, so many guys that's in this, so there's no telling how things are going to turn out, because you have everybody who wants to gang up on Cena, and then of course Kevin Owens and Zayn wanting to beat up everybody that's in this match, because they want to get back at Shane, and Shane's the one who put all these people in this match. So, by some sort of a miracle that happens from all these guys, I think it's more likely going to be AJ retaining, because I have a feeling that sometime in the future we may see a match with Ziggler and Shane McMahon, but that's just a rumor I'm hearing right now, so I'm not going to go too much further in that. So, Fletch, I guess I toss it to you, bud.
All right. And you know what, Dee? I'm going to say this. I heard that same rumor, too, about Ziggler versus Shane. I've heard that rumor, too. I was a little surprised when I heard it, because I was going to say, well, that doesn't make why would they do something like that? It would not make any sense. But it seems like they want to go down that road. So, if they do, fine, fair enough. I'm not gonna argue or anything else like that. I mean, if that's what they want to do, if that's their feel or how they want to play it, then all right, by all means. But I'm gonna go with AJ Styles. I think they need to preserve the main event of the SmackDown Live main event at WrestleMania. Anything else would be absolutely ridiculous. I mean, unless it's Kevin Owens or Sami Zayn, if they should sneak in, win the belt, and they fight Nakamura, I don't think nobody's going to be that angry about it. Yes, they're going to be disappointed because that destroys the Wrestle Kingdom rematch. But the one thing you want to do is you want to get these two guys. People's been waiting for AJ and Nakamura. If you mess with the main event of that match or that fight alone, you almost slice a major piece of WrestleMania away from the show. And if you want to make WrestleMania the biggest and best ever, then you gotta give us the biggest and best matches of all time. And this fight, Nakamura versus AJ, is a once in a lifetime. We were blessed and honored to see it on January 4, 2016, when Wrestle Kingdom 10 went down, and we saw how big that fight was. You cannot throw anybody else in this mega fight and think that we would not be clamoring for this. If AJ, because remember, when Nakamura announced AJ and called him out, said, I'm going after you at WrestleMania, what was the reaction from the crowd in Philly? They went bonkers. The whole internet went nuts. The crowd went nuts. WWE realized that this is what the fans wanted. And that's why we gave them the pass on seeing Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. We all were like, okay, you want to do this? This is on you. But you gave us what we wanted. We wanted Nakamura versus Styles. please, WWE, for the love of God, do not ruin that main event. It has to be AJ Styles. It needs to be AJ Styles more than anything else. Any other scenario, you're running the risk of big time trouble. All right. Nothing more to say. Anthony Florio, I give it to you. I got AJ winning.
Make it unanimous. I got the Phenomenal One winning as well. Oh boy. You said it. You said it again, right, MF? You said it right once again. If the WWE truly wants to piss its fans off even further, there'll be a title change here. All SmackDown Live has done is disappoint over the last 6 months, and fans will very likely riot if WWE dangles the Styles Nakamura match at WrestleMania in front of us, only to change course here right before the buzzer, if you will. That said, a victory by Dolph Ziggler would be a pleasant surprise because it would at least wrap up a confusing angle in which he won and then relinquished the United States Heavyweight Championship in a span of 48 hours. Outside of that, anyone else beating Styles for the title would be a total disaster. WWE already has a main event angle going nowhere on SmackDown Live. The last thing it needs to do is pull a WrestleMania match that fans exploded for when Nakamura announced his choice of opponent at the Royal Rumble. After standing front and center in the WWE Championship feud for the past 6 months, SmackDown Live Commissioner Shane McMahon and General Manager Daniel Bryan have slowly faded to the background, thank God. What they've left is a very convoluted picture involving a rightfully annoyed AJ Styles who continues to get screwed over by management in ways that has not been justified. And the devolving friendship now between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, from a kayfabe standpoint, the way Styles has been treated as champion simply has been beyond unfair. Not a trifle unfair, beyond unfair. And all that leads you to guess is that he will retain the belt despite these overwhelming odds against him. So the real drama becomes how exactly does the Owens and Zayn soap opera spin off into a WrestleMania feud? And how does WWE finish telling the John Cena story about not having a road to WrestleMania? The latter remains both interesting and uncertain, as Cena, despite the story's holes, has committed to telling it with his best foot forward. Although I still believe in my heart of hearts that we'll get another dream match at WrestleMania that we've been dying to see for many, many moons, that being John Cena against The Undertaker. And Bullock, I believe, mentioned a possible rumor of possibly The Undertaker showing up at Fastlane. He shows up at Fastlane, you know that's coming. So I know there's all that drama about Cena going for the record, looking to be the winningest World Heavyweight Champion in history, surpassing Ric Flair with number 17. It'll happen someday, but it's not going to happen here. I could possibly see this happening maybe later in the year, maybe next year. I don't know. But you said it all, MF. If there's one main event for SmackDown Live at WrestleMania 34, it's AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura for the WWE Championship. And if you give us that, not only are you going to get that very sour and bad taste of last year out of our mouths, the whole Orton and Wyatt garbage match that we saw. Not only is it going to get that out of our that bad taste out of our mouths and that bad visual out of our minds, it will go down as not only possibly the greatest WWE Championship match in WrestleMania history, it could also go down as maybe the greatest match in WrestleMania history. As of right now, I believe we still have the end of an era, Hell in a Cell, Triple H and The Undertaker from 28 as the greatest, and of course right behind Taker and HBK from 25. Those are far and away the two greatest of all time in terms of WrestleMania bouts. If it's Styles and Nakamura, forget it. It's gonna make those two look like dud enhancement fights. That's all there is to say on that. Come on, WWE, don't screw this up. For the love of God, don't screw this up. Because if you do, you're gonna have 4 very angry and pissed off IWCers coming at you tomorrow night. Winner and still WWE champion AJ Styles. Please let it be the phenomenal one. Please. I want to see Styles and Nakamura at WrestleMania. Who's with me? Come on. Let's get into our overall progressions, MF.
All right, this is it. Basically, it's our predictions or our expectations for the show. And I'll start it off here. And I'm gonna say it. If you look at the card as a whole, it's somewhat promising, but you also gotta feel like you don't know how this is gonna play out. Coming off probably the best go-home show in SmackDown Live history, was virtually a 9 out of 10, you obviously don't think that they can duplicate that again. It's almost next near to impossible to duplicate it re-nail that again. I could maybe say a 7 out of 10 going in, and that's going to be my baseline, and then we'll go from there. But that's as good as I can actually give it. I don't think it'll go any more higher than that. I'm sorry. So I got it. My projection is 7 out of 10. Anthony, I give it to you.
I'm leaning towards 7 to 7.5. I mean, that's how I feel going into this. Fight of the night, I probably I'm leaning towards the main event. Second best, I probably would say maybe the tag team titles with the Usos and the New Day based on their past history. I think Bobby Roode and Randy Orton is going to round out the top 3. Rusev and Nakamura will probably be sleeper fight of the night. The women's title, Charlotte and Ruby Riott. I can see that being a solid fight, maybe 2.5 to 3 there. But I think the worst fight in the night is going to be that women's tag with Becky and Naomi, with Natalya and Carmella. We still don't have the kickoff show match, although we don't really, give 2 craps about that, unless, there's high stakes in it. But I'm guessing it'll probably be a Bludgeon Brothers squash. It wouldn't surprise me, or something just as bad. But I'm leaning towards 7.5 out of 10. That's all I can say on that. I hope it delivers. I really do, because I want us to have that competition again. With which show's better? Is Raw better or is SmackDown Live better? I mean, Raw gave us a solid but not overly spectacular Elimination Chamber pay-per-view a couple weeks ago. And remember, after this, no more brand exclusive pay-per-views. There will be no more SmackDown exclusive pay-per-views. There'll be no more Raw exclusive pay-per-views. Starting with WrestleMania and going forward, all dual branded pay-per-views. And then we'll really see which show delivers on the pay-per-view stage. And we started off with the grandest stage of all next month at the Superdome in New Orleans. You already know our excitement level is sky high for that, because hello, it's Wrestle-Frickin-Mania. Duh. So, and the possibility of not 1 but 2 dream matches with Styles and Nakamura for the title, and possibly Cena and The Undertaker. Oh, Lordy. Like Corey Graves said at the Royal Rumble, get me to New Orleans now. That's all I can say on that. So 7.5 out of 10. I think that's the best I can go. I hope it's higher, because I'm rooting for SmackDown Live to be that kick butt show that they once were. When this whole thing started. So they're slowly but surely getting there, but they still have some work to do. And maybe tomorrow night this is the night you put the work in. So Edie Woodson, what do you say? 7.5 for me.
I'm going to go with Fletch on this, say about 7 out of 10, and just see if it gets any better. If AJ wins it, I think we'll probably bump the rating up, just because we're all wanting to see that big pay-per-view match between him and Nakamura, which I think we're all praying to the good Lord that WWE allows that to happen. Otherwise, yeah, we'll probably have a little bit of a rant going on, maybe a big rant going on. We'll just have to kind of wait and see what happens, because why would you want to screw up a good thing that you already have? I mean, if it's not broke, don't fix it. And right now, this match is, it's right where we want it. We want to see this dream match, this match that we'll probably never see again because of the shakeup or whatever. But I mean, this is the match everybody's looking forward to, and I'm sure there's going to be more than just the four of us that's probably going to be ranting about it, because I'm sure the internet's going to blow up with lots of IWC people that will be upset not to have this match. So, not much more I'm going to say about it. I'm going to give it 7 out of 10 as my prediction. So, Fletch, take it home.
All right, and we are indeed going to take it home, and that's it, guys. So, here is the rundown. Tomorrow night, normally it would be the recap of Fastlane. However, it's been bumped to Tuesday night, and even now, Tuesday night, we might be in big trouble because of this pending snowstorm that's supposed to be hitting the Rhode Island and the New England area. We might be pushing this off to Wednesday night. I don't know. So we're going to have to wait and see what happens. However, tomorrow night at 11 p.m. Eastern, instead of it being the Fastlane recap, we're going to have is the NCAA Men's College Basketball Tournament Special. This is the reveal of the 68-team bracket. It will happen tomorrow night. Myself, Anthony Florio, and Michael Bullock will be covering it. We're going to be going region by region, and we're going to break it down. Who we think is going to make it out of their brackets, and who is going to be the one to win the national championship in the San Antonio at the Alamo Dome. Then, Monday night, Ridiculously Raw, as always. Anthony Floyd will be hosting this. On Tuesday night, like I said, right now, it is supposed to be Cerebral Smack Talk. If we do have the show, now I'm gonna preface this very carefully. If we do, at that time, we will have our full recap of Fastlane, and we'll have the SmackDown Live after that. And then, of course, so forth and so on. Strictly Sports on Friday, as we will be covering not only the NCAA tournament, but we'll also get some other news in the world of sports. Actually, one big news that we might be talking about, Richard Sherman, now a San Francisco 49er. A 3-year deal. We'll definitely get into that. And then, of course, the NHL power rankings as well. But, guys, keep a very close eye on all the social media platforms. We will keep you up to date on everything when it comes to sports, wrestling, etc. For Anthony Florio, for Dee Woodson, I am Michael Fletcher. Thank you so much for watching this. Like the video, leave a comment at the bottom. What's your predictions for tomorrow night's show? Share it with all your friends on all platforms of social media. And until then, have a good night, everybody, and so long for now.